Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here this evening. If you will, like and share the post, and uh, I said then we will jump back into the book again. Give all the credit in the world to Jack Hayford and his book, how to live through a bad day. It's kind of interesting to me. Sometimes I feel like God gives me things to talk about for other people, but it's amazing how many times I feel like He it's for me more than it is for the audience, and this has kind of been one of those times, and especially what we're going to talk about today. Again, we've been looking at the sayings of Jesus as he was on the cross and how he was dealing with that bad day. And again, the worst day anyone's ever experienced in history, and how he dealt with it. And learning some tools that we can use to help us with our bad days. And today, we're going to look at the last saying, and this may be, again, for me, as I said, this may be more for me than anyone else. I appreciate y'all joining in as I talk to myself this afternoon. And so the last phrase that we're going to look at is when Jesus says, into your hands I commit my spirit. And there is a simple lesson, I think, that, it's not so simple to carry out, that Hayford reminds us of, again, in his book when it comes to this saying. And that is that many times when we go through a bad day, and the day is ending. We are through the day. We're home. We are, the day is, all the events are behind us. A lot of times it seems like that's really just the beginning, because then we get home or we try to lay down and go to sleep, and we start playing it over and over in our head. What could we have done differently? What went wrong? How can I keep that from happening again? And we just kind of go through it. We toss and turn, can't sleep. We worry about the repercussions. What's going to happen tomorrow because of the bad day today. And so many times, just getting home and getting away from everything isn't doesn't solve the problem. It seems like again, in many ways, it just gets worse because again, it bounces around in our head, and we just keep thinking about it and thinking about it, and can't seem to let it go. A lot of times, personally, you get to thinking about it, and you end up maybe more upset than you were during the day when it actually happened. And so we're going to learn again from Jesus a principle here that is extremely important from Jesus. When you know the day is over and you know that it is done and it is behind you, and maybe you're even thinking, tomorrow is going to be as bad or worse. You're trying to figure out what to do. Sometimes it seems like bad days drag on for weeks and months. It seems like that they seem to drag out, and the things keep coming back. Some things, you know, depending on what it is, if you've got, a problem in your family or maybe a problem at work, it can go on indefinitely. You can't do much about family, and you got to work, and so sometimes it just seems like these things go on, and we keep dragging them up. We keep going through them over and over. We keep wondering when will it get through. And what we learn from Jesus in this statement is when we get to the end of a bad day, then we place it, we do like Jesus. Jesus is under, I commit my spirit to you at the end of the day. And maybe truthfully, even before the end of the day, we give it to the Lord and allow Him to take care of it. I'm reminded. I'm going to butcher this story because I just popped into my head of the story of the man who was on the ship crossing the Atlantic, and the storm came up, and the ship was tossing and going back and forth, and he went up on the deck and was watching the storm and seeing what was going on and worried about it, and finally. He said, Lord, if you're going to be awake all night, I might as well go on to bed. And so, he goes and goes, lays down and goes to sleep and leaves the storm in the hands of the Lord. And that's exactly how Christ's bad day ended. When he got to the end of the day, when he got to the end of the day on Calvary, he says, I commit my spirit unto you. And he's saying again, he's already said it is finished. And he's when he says this, it's important to note that when he says it is finished, when he says, unto you I commit my spirit, this is not admitting defeat. This is admitting victory. He's saying, Lord, Father, I'm going to trust you. I'm putting it in your hands. I'm going to trust you with these circumstances and situation that is going on. And as everything that was playing out, as he was shedding his blood, he says, Lord, I'm going to trust your plan. I'm going to trust, again, over and over during his ministry, he had said, I'm here to do the will of the Father, all the way to the cross. And at this point, he's saying, Father, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna put I'm gonna trust your plan. I'm gonna trust what you have laid out, and put myself in your hands. And that is again ultimately the way for us to deal, the best way for us to deal with bad days. Um, I'd like to tell you that's easy to do. But again, this one, as of all these that we've looked at, this one, the one I'm a fixer. I know that about myself. I like to fix things. I like to repair things. I like to make things whole again if I can. And when I've had a bad day, I want to figure it out. I want to figure out why. I want to try to fix it. I want it to not happen again. But here we learn from Christ that He says, Lord, I'm going to place it in your hands. Now, as the song goes, I think about the song. Some of you may not know the song, many of you probably will. It says, He could have called 10,000 angels. Jesus could have taken matters into His own hands. He could have struck everyone there blind. He could have, any number of things. He could have spoke, and it would have been done. But instead, again, he chooses to place himself into the Father's hands, trust the plan that the Father has laid out, and trust Him to take care of this matter. And so, again, not going to be very long tonight because again, it's really, it's just a matter of doing it. It's a matter of placing our bad day into the hands of God and trusting Him and putting ourselves in His plans. And that's what Jesus exemplifies here. Again, He had any number of options. He didn't have to be there. He could have stopped this at any point, at any point along the way. When they from the arrest forward, Jesus could have spoke the word, and the angels would have swooped in and stop this. But He says, Father, I'm going to trust your plan. I'm going to put myself in your hands. And so, as we finish up this series, as we finish up this little book and dealing with a bad day, there it is. Put at the end of the day, you trust His plan. And so, let's run back over what we learned from these words of Jesus. First of all, He says, "Father, forgive them. Forgive the person that's responsible." And maybe not. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's yourself that you have to forgive. Forgive whoever is responsible uh, for for your bad day. Then even though even though Jesus was on the cross, He took care of the thief beside of Him, and so we learn that when we're having a bad day, to be careful to encourage others that are struggling as well. That we help others along the way. Then He says, "Take care of my mother." We learn to be careful that we don't take out our bad day on those closest to us, which is, again, unfortunately, a very common thing for us to do. We have a bad day at work, and rather than deal with it at work, we come in and take it out on the wife and kids. And so be careful that we follow again the model of Jesus of taking care of others, taking care of those closest to us. Then He says, my God, why?" When those terrible, hard questions come on bad days, we go to God with the question. Again, we ask God. Again, there's a difference in challenging God and asking God a question. And Jesus teaches us here that that it's okay. It is acceptable to ask questions of God. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Jesus says, "I thirst." Sometimes in a bad day, we try to handle it ourselves, but the reality is we need help from someone else. And then finally today, we learned that at the end of the day, we just have to put our trust in the plan, the purpose of God Himself, and allow Him to work in our life, and allow Him to be in control. So I hope that helps you. Again, it's really, if nothing else, I thank you for spending a few weeks with me as I talk to myself about how to handle a bad day. And if you like, I encourage you to pick up a little copy of the little book. I can't imagine. Again, I don't even know where mine came from. It was just laying on my desk. I'm sure somebody probably gave it to me. Let's see. I was looking at it. It says it's $10. You probably it says $9.99 on the back of it. You could probably pick it up at Amazon for a lot less than that. But it's just a little small book. You could read it in half an hour or so, and might be a good tool for you to refer back to when you're having a bad day. Hope you're having a good day today, and hope you have a good week the rest of this week. And love to see you again. Join us each morning at 7 as we continue to go through the Psalms here on these same ways: Facebook, YouTube, on a number of different podcasts. And love to see you in person Sunday morning, 10 o'clock at Poplar Grove Baptist Church. All right, have a great day. We will see you back here next week.